Finally, major progress on your second stimulus, as December 11th could be the deadline to get an emergency stimulus bill out. The continuing resolution bill, the bill to fund the federal government, due December 11th. In it will be stimulus, says a new report. This is emergency stimulus, a stimulus check, extension of FPUC, UI, PUA, finally the type of relief you need. We've been waiting for months. But will this be another airline situation or another August situation where we had a deadline and things weren't done by the deadline? This time it might be different because it's their income that will be on the line. The federal government will shut down if stimulus is in there and the deal is not hatched. Suddenly when their income is on the line, everything changes. And this could be the changing moment. Meantime, $2,400 if you're on SSI and SSDI. Janet Yellen's announced on Monday as a Treasury Secretary. Housing starts are good. Black Friday is bad. Meantime, unemployment numbers go through the roof. Lockdowns across the country. Unemployment numbers increasing. Push is underway, and Wall Street is saying, enough is enough. Do the stimulus right now. We're saying the same thing, and is this the moment of opportunity to strike? Purple Power, do your thing. This is a big night of evenings LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. I've never been so encouraged, but also very excited because this December 11th is now the real focal point of the Purple Power push. We have not had a major Purple Power push of 10,000, 20,000 tweets a day in a few weeks. And this one is the one that may make the difference. And we're not actually responsible for it. It's actually a news report out this weekend, but we're going to capitalize on it and try to get this done. More about that in a second. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do, because I'm giving viewers money right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. No one's fighting to get money more than anyone anywhere on any channel except you, me, and the incredible 9 followers of this volunteers of this channel. We are helping people. Other people can sit back and say whatever they want to say. We're helping people get money. Now upwards of $300,000 since last Thursday, not this Thursday, but the Thursday before that. I got viewers $5 to $25 million from EIDL in March and April. This is the channel that helps get people real money right now. But you and I know how we're going to do it, because we're going to subscribe and you're going to and also like this video, because I'm going to go over the big money you're going to get in this video. And I'm so excited for the new viewers who got $5, $10, $15, and $20,000 in the last 24 to 48 hours because of this channel. More about that in a second. In this video, there's so much coming up. First, this December 11th date, this new bill. Is this another August and another airline deadline that's sort of going to be ignored? No, I'm going to tell you why. But ultimately, this is a news article, and we have to presume that the news article is going to be true, and that everything is going to flow that way. And even if it's sort of off kilter, we're going to, as the Purple Power, do a push we have never been done in almost 4 or 5 weeks to say, hey, put stimulus in the continuing resolution, Mitch. Put it in there. And tell Nancy either this or the highway, because guess what the highway is? You don't get your check. When you don't get your check, how does it feel? How does it feel when you don't get your check? Referring to Nancy, not referring to you, my viewer. Suddenly, karma has come to join us this evening. Boy, big developments, and of course the $2,400 for SSI and SSDI. Let's get to the breaking news. And this is the breaking news. Tonight, millions of Americans are wondering if this December 11th deadline will finally be the push. I can fully predict within no less than 48 hours, every broadcast news channel is going to talk about stimulus and December 11th. They're going to talk about them together because it's the most obvious thing hitting you in the face. December 11th is the deadline to shut down the federal government if there's no continuing resolution bill reached. It's called the Continuing Resolution, the Federal Budget Bill. The CR stands for Continuing Resolution, has to be done by December 11th. It's a basic bill, and it basically funds the federal government and funds those people in Congress's checks. They don't get it done, then no one gets a check, and the federal government gets shut down. Isn't that such a charming thought? You don't get your check, I don't get my check. How does it feel? Well, guess what? The continuing resolution has, during this pandemic, included stimulus in it. The last time it included the farmer stimulus, Cowcino stimulus. Yes, no joke. This is why sirloin was birthed. He was born on the gag that the cows got stimulus before us, and I only learned it when I met Sirloin, the lobbyist for the cows, and that's where it came that gag line from. Now the CR is up for renewal again. It's every few months, and a new news report says that stimulus, a lot more stimulus, is going to float into this CR. And it's going to come from the GOP in the Senate that still control the Senate. And they're going to say our way or the highway, which is shutting down the federal government. Doesn't that sound so shocking? Now, what would be the deal provisions? Well, the article says it would include a stimulus check. It would include PUA, FPUC, UI, mortgage forbearance, rent forgiveness, rent moratorium, and student loan repayment forgiveness. Let's go over each of those. The stimulus check doesn't say the amount of the check in the article, but it's presumed to be $1,200. It's presumed not to be a stimulus check anyone of us would like. Expected to be a watered-down stimulus check. I don't know things like will be taken out for child support, how much will the dependence check will be. This is the purpose of Purple Power. We have to make sure we get the message out how big the stimulus check will be. Next, FPUC. The article claims the FPUC will be as low as $250 a week. Yes, I know that's really low, but would it be retroactive to late December? That's not that bad. September. Should I say December? September. September, $250 a week from September, which, August, September, October, November, December, that's 4 months, 16 weeks. That's a nice check. 16 weeks of $300 a week is, almost $6,000. So if I'm doing the math right. Larry Kudlow, where are you? That's a nice check. Then UI extended. Thank goodness. UI is expiring in late December. PUA extended. Thank goodness it's expiring in December. Then eviction moratorium continued. You have to continue that. The pandemic's worst months will be January and February. So you can't have people evicted in the middle of the pandemic. You have to extend the eviction moratorium. It's inhumane not to. Then mortgage forbearance, the same reason. And student loan debt repayment on hold. Doesn't cost the federal government anything to put that on hold. And then maybe some PPP. That's also what's believed in there as well. Now, what's incredibly great news about this is that this, on its face, looks entirely different than the August and the July and the airlines' deadlines. No less than 3 times before we've had deadlines on this channel where we presumed, well, there's a deadline. They're not going to let things lapse. They're not, come on. I mean, how can you let things lapse? And then they let things lapse. This time it's different because this time the alternative is you shut down the federal government and you don't give them a check. Sound familiar? Oh my goodness, it does not. We've never had this situation. So in July, we all sat back and said, FPUC is expiring. And VP-elect Harris appeared on Chris Hayes on MSNBC and said, MSNBC, and said, you know what, we can't have FPUC expire in July. I mean, I would never imagine something like that. Well, it expired. They didn't take care of it. And they actually went on vacation. Then we had the August deadline, which was when they came back from their break. And we said they have about 2 weeks to get this done. This is when they're going to get done. They don't get it done. We'll have to wait till October for stimulus. And they didn't do anything. And then the airline deadline, they didn't do anything. But those times, they didn't have to do anything because it didn't have a repercussion for them. Yeah, you see that? The repercussion for them was nothing. They go home and they have their nice Learjet that flies them home and, have their $12 ice cream. This time, the federal government would shut down. The federal government would shut down in the middle of a pandemic, before an inauguration, before the holidays, before the post office and all those things would shut down. All those things would shut down. because they couldn't do a CR to put in 4 emergency items. That's why the article that Wall Street is sort of salivating over thinks it's going to happen. And you know what? I think it's going to happen as well. If everything falls into position and they act rationally, I think this is going to happen as well. So this is the big push for Purple Power. Are you ready? Okay, so this is what you got to do. You got to take this video and tag Mnuchin, Meadows, and McConnell and McConnell's communications director on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, but especially Twitter, and hashtag Purple Power and say, put stimulus in the CR, Mitch. Put stimulus in the CR. What should be our hashtag for this? CR for stimulus? I like that. CR for stimulus. Let's do it. CR for stimulus. That's a very clear hashtag. The stimulus or stimulus in CR? I know. I just changed it already. We need a hashtag, and you can choose a hashtag, and I'll get some images ready for you, and I'll post them on Twitter. But this is the message you need to get out very loud and clear. Get that stimulus in the CR, Purple Power, because ultimately, if the stimulus is in the CR, boy, it'll save a lot of lives between now and January, February. Now, this is emergency stimulus. Let me make very clear. This is emergency stimulus. So this is not the totality of stimulus or second stimulus. Hazard pay would not be in there. SSI and SSDI would not be in there, that $2,400 check. And all those grants would not be in there. So let me explain where SSI and SSDI would likely be in there. For example, that would be a standalone bill that would follow thereafter because they want to have veterans and veterans benefits and SSI as a standalone bill. The Republicans and Democrats want it. So $2,400, $200 a month, every month starting now all the way to December 31st of next year, which would amount to $2,400 or upwards of $4,000 if you're Elizabeth Warren, who originally devised the plan. Then a 20% increase, a lifetime, one-time lifetime increase. So if you're making $1,000, it'll go to $1,200, and then a step up based upon a new benchmark. Every year to date, different than COLA, a new benchmark. This is all incredible, great news. This is what Biden wants you to have right away. But I see this as a separate bill. I don't see it as part of this. It's too hard to get it slid in there. Now they could, but I don't see it yet happening. Then then the big question is, what else? Well, hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power, hazard pay, all that really kicks in late December, early January, as we focus on the January bill, which then can be more robust. Ultimately, you can't have UI and PUA expiring in the middle of a pandemic. You can't have no stimulus check. You should have revolving consecutive stimulus checks. And I'm going to sit here and make very clear that I believe that a $1,200 stimulus check in the month of December to cover you for the last 1,000 months and to cover you to next January, to the month after that, January, is insufficient. I'm going to make it perfectly clear so that if you want to make the narrative very loud, then make this narrative even louder. When bringing up CR and stimulus in the CR, talk about repurposing the CARES Act 1 money. That $800 billion of CARES Act 1 money that's sitting in an SBA, repurpose that as a $5,000 stimulus check and put that in the CR as well. Imagine how simple this would be. That Mitch and Steve, no less than a week and a half ago, wrote the Democrats and said, we have all this money sitting around that needs to be repurposed. Let's just repurpose and send it as a stimulus check. Answer was, you know what? We don't want to piecemeal. This time, they have to piecemeal. Because this is a CR, they got to put a little bit of this, a little bit of this, put it in the CR. And guess who's done this before? Nancy Pelosi. The farmers and the cows... the cows got themselves slid into the last CR because someone clearly lobbied the Speaker of the House's office. No one else got slid into that CR except the farmers and the cows. Well, this time we're not going to slide into the CR. We're going to push our darn way into the CR. You got me? All right, now let's get to the incredible push of this channel. Upwards of about $300,000 has been gotten by viewers of this channel because of CARES Act 1 grants and the power of this channel and the power and the volunteer of now 9 volunteers of this channel. Let me go over the 3 ways you can get money, and I want you to get this money right now. This is money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now. Someone had a comment in the video right before this, said, how quickly are people getting escalated benefits? One viewer got it in 1 day. It depends on escalated benefits. It could be 1 to several days. Another viewer said, how high can you go for CARES Act 1? One viewer went to 20,000, a few went to 15,000. Many have started at a few hundred just for utilities and gone up. The big news as I start tonight on CARES Act 1 money, before I start, is that the volunteers know that there's a couple of private and religious charities that are stepping forward and giving heating items like portable, portable heaters for people in desperate need. So thank goodness for those wonderful companies. I can't say them on air, but they know about them. They also know about certain religious organizations that are paying full rent for viewers in towns in which you cannot find rent so easily. Example is Houston, Texas. Very first day of this channel when I did this, very first day that I did this, which was not last Thursday, but Thursday before that, a viewer got 15,000 in Houston because of a religious charity. But what I want you to focus on is the money that comes from the federal government. It's in the cities, it's in the counties, and it's in the states. It's in your city hall, your county hall, and your state housing authority. You're looking for CARES Act 1 grants for rent, utilities, and food. The key words you want to use are rent assistance or rent help, utility assistance or utility help, and then food assistance or food help. You want to start by looking for rent. You want to start by looking for rent, looking in those 3 places, your city hall, your county hall, and your state housing authority. Don't go beyond that universe. That's the universe you look at. You don't look somewhere else. You don't just go on Google and say, Google, show me rents, show me grants in just general. That's wrong because you're going to land at private grants, which have nothing to do in this channel. So you go to rent, you go to your city, your county, and your state housing authority, and you look for rent assistance, food assistance, and utility assistance. You want to start with rent. And if you have problem with rent, go to utilities. If you have problems with utilities, go to food. I got to tell you, 90% of the viewers get utility grants. They just do. It's not difficult. Food grants are very easy to get. A lot of viewers just don't need food grants, but a lot get food grants. What's important to understand is that you then also want to go to your utility companies, every single one of them, and ask for utility assistance. I can't pay my bill. Do you have a utility grant? Do you have utility assistance, utility help? Ultimately, the word grant, G-R-A-N-T, causes some confusion, so use the word assistance or help. And the amount of money that people are getting is generally 3 months to 12 months of rent, and generally 1 month to several months of utilities, which is a few $100s. And then some people are getting combo, where they're getting multiple things at the same time. Finally, if you're having problems looking, if you looked and can't find this, then go to the community channel, community page of this channel, which is youtube.com/LALATE/community. That's youtube.com/LALATE/community. Next, escalated benefits. So easy. That's very, very simple. Pull your 2019 tax return. Look at it. See how much money you made in 2019. Get a copy of it on your computer or your phone, either by taking a picture of it or scanning it. Then write a letter to your unemployment department saying, hi, I made this amount of money in 2019. Can you please see if I qualify for additional weekly benefits? Very simple. Hi, do I qualify for additional weekly benefits? Very, very simple. Here's my tax return. And this is what's going to happen. If you made over $30,000, they'll raise you about $300 a week. If you made over $25,000, they'll raise you about $100 a week. And if you made over $18,000, which is really the entry, the lowest point of people who should use this approach, because I don't think it works for anyone who made less than $18,000. You'll get about another $50 a week, so about $1,500, bam, right in your account. That's based upon 30 weeks of unemployment. It would be $10,000 if you made over $30,000. It would be about $3,000 if you made over $25,000, and it'd be about $1,500 if you made over $18,000 2019 earnings. Finally, EIDL. Go get EIDL, please. Go to sba.gov if you were a Grubhub, Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, or similar side hustle independent contractor who declared income on your Schedule C in 2019. You pull your Schedule C. You look at it. Did you declare income? Oh, you did. Good. Grubhub, what'd you make? $6,000? Great. What was line 2? 0? Good. So you're going to get $3,000 EIDL. This is a lending instrument. This is the only thing in this video that is a lending instrument. Nothing is repaid for the first year, and then after that it's repaid over 30 years. It's very simple. It's sba.gov, economic injury disaster. You need a 570 Experian Vantage 3.0 score to look up your Experian Vantage 3.0 score. That is the only metrics that they use. You can go online. It's free. Also, if you need to raise it, go to Experian.com/the boost to raise it 25 points. And finally, if you need to remove adverse entries, just call up Experian and they will remove adverse entries for free. It just takes a couple of days. Boy, join me on Purple Power Live coming up after this with big developments as well. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in that life for more.